who used to be a pimp, who's now become a preacher, and he's now Bishop Don Juan Magic somebody. I don't know what it is. But this brother I don't know how he got so much gold on him. He had on 10 fingers, he must have had 55 rings, all glistening out of his ears, like coming in his hair was braided with gold diamonds and stuff. And he showed you diamonds in his teeth and stuff. I don't know how he chewed without getting stuff on. The idea is that his manhood was not in who he could beat up. His manhood was not even in the women he was pimping when he was a pimp before he became a preacher, which may be very similar. That's another story. But the idea is that, not all preachers now, please, not all. But his personhood was defined exclusively by that. Now, we get the raw pictures of the brothers on the block. In the hood, we see the brothers in their one-dimensionality raw. Broad brother, stone complete stud. That's all he is, a stud. Then there's one who's a stone complete killer. He's a killer, that's all he is. Then there's the stone complete dollar man, the more money man, and that's all he is. Of course, once we've been socialized into Euro-American realities, we become more subtle about it. So brothers pretend to really be interested in law school, but they just want to get closer to sisters who they can talk down more heavily. Then there are those who somehow claim to be interested in being in business, but what they're really interested in is trying to get more money. To have more money simply for the purpose of having more money. But they claim to have a business acumen, an entrepreneurial agenda, which is a commitment to the broader cosmological explosion of building economic. They want more money in their individual pockets, and that's it. Now, we are talking about then this process of being preoccupied with one dimension of who we are. Now, to restore black hole men, first of all, we need a conceptualization. We need a conceptualization. And the conceptualization grows out of a view of who we are from our perspective. Now, let's be very clear about this. We know that the African-centered perspective is idealistic. Yes, ain't nothing wrong with that. Every conceptual system is idealistic. Don't be foolish. Capitalism, democracy, communism, you name it, realism, Christianity, Islam, Judaism, any system of thought is fundamentally ideals. It is set on a set of pinnacle ideals that if things go right, if things work right, if things look right, this is the way it will look. So what we say unabashedly, that the source of our ideals have grown out of an African idealism. No, Africa doesn't look like this today. I've been to Africa. I ain't no fool. No, it isn't perfect in every dimension. No, male-female relationships are not perfect. No, young people are not initiated perfectly. No, we don't have any pyramid construction company today over in Cairo, Egypt, that we can go back and bring over today and build housing projects that look just like the pyramids. No, the Metanettra is not fully understood the way it was conceptualized long before there were vowels put into it. Now, we know that. But it does not excuse the fact that if we are going to build on innovative, creative, and self-appointed ideals, we must reach into the recesses of our own visionary possibilities and not borrow, steal, or hogwash, or whitewash, or blackwash somebody else's idealism and call it our own. That's the point we're making. That is the point we're making. Now, so in this idealism, we are suggesting that Africans are not the perfect people on earth, but they damn sure trying. Africans have been trying longer than anybody else on earth. That's wonderful. We haven't gotten there. But certainly if we look and understand the way that Africans have conceptualized the world, we are looking at the oldest and most persisting models. What does the Lexus commercial say? In pursuit of excellence. In pursuit of perfection, I'm sorry. So in fact, what we have in Africans is in pursuit of the perfection of human beings. Now, how should whole black men look? How should they look? They should be multi-dimensional. At one level, whole black men must be materially oriented. Yes, that's a part of who we are. If you're going to be a whole person, you've got to be concerned about your body. You've got to worry about what you eat. You've got to worry about how you live. You've got to smell right. You can't be stink. You've got to worry about preserving your physical life for as long as you can. Because if you don't preserve your physical life, all the rest of it is incidental. You need a material body to preserve. You need to be healthy. You need to be nourished. You need to reproduce yourself. You need to bring pleasure to your body. You need to bring growth to your body. So sex and aggression has its place. It is fun. It is enjoyable. It is also regenerative, reproductive. It's also healing. These are elements that are vital to our complete development. So certainly this is a part of who we are. The person, the man, who has no aggressive sense of how to protect, how to secure, how to build a sense of security around himself, his family, his community, is a man who is partially mad. A man who has no sexual orientation at all is a man who is dead. He is dead. It's not a question of when he will be resurrected. He's dead and will probably not be coming back. Because even dead men got some kind of orientation. The point we are making is that the sexual energy, the sexual desire, the desire to unite in union and to bring one into connection with the woman is a fundamental part of the makeup of what the human material being is all about. So yes, we do have bodies. We need to be concerned about our bodies. We need to run. We need to work out. We need to cleanse our bodies. We need to eat right. We need to not drink much. We need to not smoke. We need to do all those things to make sure that these bodies last as long as we can. This is not a catechism. This is not a moral lesson. This is not thou shalt not. This is survival, baby. Pure, simple, staying here on the planet by any means necessary. That's a part of our concern. Any people who have a political agenda that does not consider the need to preserve and treat the body well does not have a political agenda. Anyone who has an economic agenda, who does not worry about how to preserve and keep the body here long, does not have an economic agenda. We've got to understand that this part of who we are is essential in terms of this full dimensionality. The other piece of it is that if you are in fact on this earth, you cannot live with ideals alone. Look, one of the things that happened and I'm so glad those days passed, in the early days of the movement and the struggle, it was considered to be not only immoral, but almost a traitor. If you said, well, look, I need some money. I need some resources. We need some money. And they said, what? Brother, don't you know that's capitalism?